Okay, let's start with homework number 1. Determine the wavelength and period of the following frequencies. So we're given 3 frequencies. We need to find the wavelength and period of those. There are a couple things that we know. One is that the wavelength is just the speed of light over frequency. And 2, the period is just 1 over the frequency. So using those 2 equations, we can figure out all that we need for this problem. So this is number 1, part A. We were given, for part A, a 5 megahertz signal. And we want to simply plug that into our equations that we have in order to solve for the wavelength and the period. So let's plug that one in directly. The wavelength is just equal to the speed of light, 3 times 10 to the 8th, or 5 megahertz. And that is going to be equal to 60 meters for the wavelength. And then we want to find the period as well. So the period of that is simply 1 over f, which is our 5 megahertz here. So 1 over f, or 1 over 5 megahertz, is equal to 200 nanosecond. So all right, let's now do B. For part B, we're doing the same thing. We just need to plug into those 2 equations. So you plug in your C over F, and we end up with 327.87 millimeters for the wavelength, and we end up with a period of 1.09 nanosecond. Okay, so that gives us part B, and we simply plug into the same equations for our last part, part C. So we will do that up here. All right, so for part C, we were given a 2.4 gigahertz signal. And so by plugging that 2.4 gigahertz in for our wavelength, we end up with 125 millimeter. For our period, we end up with 416.7 picosecond. So those are the 3 parts of homework number 1.